Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you are new, welcome. My name is Shantanique, and obviously this is my YouTube. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I upload videos twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern time. After you do that, head on over to Instagram and make sure you follow me there. So, it's been a while since I've actually done a sit-down video, especially as it relates to human resources. I always get feedback from you guys like, oh my God, where's the HR videos? Where's the HR content? And I just have a lot of other things happening. So you guys know I got engaged, we live in a house, I'm doing family stuff, it was the holidays, all that good stuff. But I am ready to kind of hop back in and share some HR tips and knowledge and just my journey with you guys. I may do one HR video a month, just because it's a fine line between my actual career and what I can actually share, and I want to make sure that I don't cross that line at all. So there is that. As you can tell by today's title, we are going to be talking about the importance of email etiquette as it relates to thank you emails. I get DMs from you guys all the time saying, I had an interview, I haven't heard back from the company, what should I do? So in today's video, I am going to share the top mistake that candidates make when they're going through the interview process. If you are interested in learning what that mistake is and how to correct it, keep watching. So, with it being the top of the year, we're in Q1, we're just starting a new month. A lot of people are looking for new jobs. They're looking for new opportunities. They're looking for growth opportunities. They're looking to change their career path. I always get messages from you guys saying, hey, I nailed that interview. I killed that interview. I did such a great job. It's been 2 weeks and I haven't heard back from anybody. What do I do? And I always respond and I say, did you send a thank you email? And 90% of the time people say, no. What's a thank you email? Was I supposed to send a thank you email? Yes, you're supposed to send a thank you email. I guess that's not common knowledge for people who don't work in human resources, but a thank you email is just as important as you applying for the job. That pretty much seals the deal. After you have any type of interview, phone, first, second, third, final, doesn't matter, you need to send a thank you email within 24 hours, okay? You need to send an email to the person who interviewed you that says, hi, so-and-so, hi, Shannon, hi, Edward, hi, whoever, I don't know, I couldn't think of a name. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me, to chat with me, to connect with me, to interview me, whatever. You then want to say, I really enjoyed learning XYZ about your company. What did you learn about the company during the interview? Keep in mind, when you're interviewing for something, you're also interviewing that person to figure out if you even want to be a part of that company. Like, it's a two-way street. Although they're going to be asking you the questions, you still have an opportunity to ask them questions, pros and cons about their company, their growth, progression chart, any of those things. You have the ability to ask those questions, and I encourage you to ask questions after every single interview. It's so important and it shows your interest. So yeah, you want to say, I really enjoyed learning about whatever it is that you guys talked about, or whatever it is you learned about the company, the job, the location, the department, whatever it is that you learned, you want to recap it in that second sentence or so within that thank you email. Then you want to remind the interviewer of your qualities and what you can bring to the organization. As mentioned, I am very driven, organized, whatever. Don't use those basic things, but recap what you offer. Whatever kind of experience you may have or whatever kind of personal connection you may have to that job, you want to go ahead and recap it in about that, probably that fourth or fifth sentence or so. The last part, I always encourage people to include some type of personal reminder. So what I did during all of my interview processes is during the conversation, I tried to get to know them as far as who they were as an individual. Like, I'm interviewing for this company, Does the person who interviewing me, do they like football? Do they go to a SEC school? Do they hate football? Do they like sports? Like, sports is just a really common topic that everybody can talk about. So that's what I use to my advantage. Yours might be something different. Maybe during the interview somebody mentioned that, you know, they had a photo shoot over the weekend, and maybe y'all can talk about photography, or maybe you guys can talk about, I don't know, your pet, your dog, something you want to kind of stick out so that when they hear of that, they're like, oh yeah, I remember her. She went to Auburn and she really likes football. That matters. So in that last portion of that thank you email, you want to throw that in there. You know, you want to say, I'm super excited about the upcoming football season. I hope we beat you guys this year, or I hope we see you at the national championship, or whatever it is. You want to kind of make that personal connection and end it with a War Eagle, Go Dogs, whatever. I'm not going to say ROLL Tide, but y'all know, y'all know. And then lastly, in the very last part, you want to say, please let me know if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to reach out. Whatever it is, to kind of let them know, hey, yes, me, I'm interested. If you have any questions, if we didn't seal the deal, please reach out to me so I can give you whatever additional information that you need. And then obviously you close it. Best regards, Shan. Obviously you don't want to put Shan, but your first and your last name. And you want to send that off and you want to leave it at that. So it's very common for interviewees not to have the email address of the person who interviewed them. This is where you have to get creative. And this is where you're going to see if you really, really want it, or if you're kind of passive about the job. Most times in the past, when we held interviews in person, it was easy for the director to give you their card, or for you to ask for their card or whatever, because you're there in person. Now, obviously, mostly everyone is working remotely. So we don't really have that physical connection or that in-person connection that we once had. So we have to get a little bit creative as far as figuring out how to get access to information that we need, right? So let's say the director of payroll interviewed you and you want to go ahead and send that thank you email, but you don't have their email address. All you know is their first and last name, and that's it. You could always reach out to the recruiter to say, hey, it was a pleasure speaking to Barbara. She didn't share her email. Can you give it to me? Some recruiters will give it to you. Some of them won't. That's just the reality of it. They're not all going to give it to you. If they don't, head on over to LinkedIn. Type in Barbara Washington. You'll see 100 of them come up, and do your little research. This is your FBI detective work to figure out, okay, well, this is the Barbara Washington who lives in Texas, and I live in Texas, so maybe this is the one. Oh yeah, she lives in Houston. Okay, yeah, I think this is her. And she works at X company. Yes, this is her for sure. Reach out to her on there. Or look at the email address that your recruiter sent you a message from and just put it together. Most companies' email is going to be first name, last name at whatevercompany.com, or first name dot last name at whatevercompany.com. You have to take the initiative to go that extra mile to get the answer that you need, which in fact could also be super helpful to you, because the director will get an email and she's like, oh my God, I didn't even give this girl my email. How does she figure out my email address? Oh, okay, well, she went the extra mile to figure it out. Those things matter, especially if it's you, if it comes down to you and somebody else. The small things really, really, really matter. Hopefully you guys have learned the importance of thank you emails. You need to be sure to write one within 24 hours of every single interview. It's not an option. It needs to be a requirement. I promise you, you guys will start to hear feedback more often. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, I hope that this HR tip was super helpful to you. I will be posting HR tips on a monthly basis, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and tune in. But until next time,